This is David Luking with GrassFlap. I thought it might be useful to show some folks who are getting ready to install a GrassFlap for the first time some basic things about how the GrassFlap operates. It might make it easy for you to understand where you're heading to when you do the installation. So I've got an older John Deere mower here, got a GrassFlap on it. So we're going to show you this information on this particular lawnmower, but it applies to any GrassFlap that you're going to install. So it doesn't matter whether it's going on John Deere, Skag, Hustler, doesn't matter what it's going on. The GrassFlap and how it operates is going to be basically the same no matter what lawnmower you're putting it on. So first thing is all GrassFlaps work basically the same way. You have a blocker out here at the discharge opening that can open and close by your foot pedal up here, or a hand lever, depending on what you've got from an actuator. So you've got something that's going to block the discharge chute. You've got a cable that connects from the discharge chute to the pedal, and your pedal can be here in the middle or it can be over on the far side. It doesn't matter where the pedal is, you're all going to have some kind of a pedal that's going to operate the GrassFlap. So one of the first things that you need to understand is how this flap works. So basically this spring holds this flap closed and it also holds the flap open, okay? Halfway between those two, or somewhere between those fully closed and fully open, there's a balance point. What's happening here is that everything's lined up and the spring is basically holding it in place. Once you go past this balance point to the top way, that spring pulls it open. Once you go below that balance point, gravity in the spring pulls it closed. So your job with this cable pulling it is to bring it to that balance point, if you will, with enough momentum to carry it through. So what I want to do is I want to bring the pedal, pulling on the cable, I want to bring it past the balance point and allow it to open. So if you just push down on the pedal and don't allow the spring to pull it open, what's going to happen is it's just going to stall right here, and you're not going to get it to come open. If you just push the pedal down, fully down, you're going to come to that balance point, if you will, or close to it, and you're just going to sit there. No matter how hard you push the pedal, it's not going to move because you have basically pulled it as far as you can with the pedal. So you need to understand that basically to get started on how you're going to end up operating it. Secondarily, people worry about this cable sagging. It's not going to sag. So on this particular mower, it's installed here. I have one wire tie here, zip tie rather, holding it up. It's free all the way over to where it lays here, but it's not going to sag. It's going to stay there. You won't have any trouble with it falling. So you don't have to tie it up a bunch of different times across. It's going to be there and be steady. Okay, let's put this pan back in. The pedal operation. So if I take the flap and move it to that balance point, this pedal is going to now be at its lowest position. I can push on it a little bit. Just moved on. Let me show you what that is. So flap in the balance position. What I want to be is I want this spring tension, which basically what this spring is doing is counterbalancing the weight of this flap. More spring tension pulls it open easier, less spring tension lets it fall closed. Where you'd like to be sitting is so that when you put a little bit of pressure on this pedal, why, it pulls that flap just slightly enough to make it go closed. The other thing you want to have is, operationally, you would like for this pedal to be as low as you can be from an operating standpoint. So what you're looking for is a 1/4, 3/8 of an inch of clearance on this pedal, so that if I just push it as hard as I can, it would just contact on the top here. Okay, so those are a couple big things that people get stuck on the first time out. So again, it doesn't matter whether the pedal is in the middle, over to the side, whether it's on a stand on, a walk behind. The pedal might look different, but the job of the pedal is to pull that flap to the half open position and let momentum of the flap carry it through. So let me see if I can get up here and demonstrate for you, okay? So I'm gonna push the pedal all the way down and just hold it. And you can see the pedal's all the way down, the flap's half open, and it doesn't matter how hard I push, okay? It's not gonna go anywhere, and that's the way it's supposed to be, okay? All I'm gonna do is get the flap moving with a little bit of speed. So if I just start by seesawing it back and forth like this and get a little higher each time, eventually it just pops open. It's not a lot of force, it's just a nice smooth push and release. You see what my foot's doing? I'm down and off. I'm not pushing it and holding it. I'm not slamming it. I'm just nice on and off motion is going to allow you to open this thing. Hopefully that helps to give you some concept. So again, another mistake I see people the first time out, they think that this bolt here, which is the pivot bolt, they have to take it apart. In our old grass flaps, you did have to do an install here. On the new ones, they come to you fully assembled, and you do not have to do anything to this assembly here. The problem that you get, or what you're looking to have, is this jam nut and this nut are tight, sandwiching this together, and otherwise it'll lay over and you'll be crooked and it won't operate smoothly. So don't, when you get a brand new grass flap, you don't have to take it apart to do anything. You will have to take this bolt off and slide the spring mount into place and put it back on, but don't do anything to this. So hopefully that helps you understand. It's very simple to operate once you understand what it's doing. If you don't realize that it's an on-off, nice steady on-off motion on that pedal, you're going to get frustrated and you're going to think it's not working right. You're going to think all I can do is get it to the half open and it's going to stay there. Smooth on and off that pedal will allow it to flip open. The cable is going to stay in position, so you don't need a bunch of zip ties to tie it up. Hopefully that helps.